Hey, good morning. I was in this Facebook group and somebody was making the point that they were asking about pricing tools in Airbnb and if people use the Airbnb smart pricing. And I just made a quick comment. I said, it's a conflict of interest because obviously Airbnb wants the customer to be happy. So they want the customer to pay as little as possible and feel like they're getting the biggest value. So therefore you are telling Airbnb to go with the lower price. I just wanted to make a couple points about that really quickly. So I want to tell you a story from the Amazon days, like the Wild West days of Amazon. It's like 2015, 2016. So you could just list your product on Amazon, like I was doing OEM in those days, and you'd list the product, put a price down, and you'd get a ton of sales. Like if you could rank high, you would get, hundreds of sales a day. And, I had friends who were doing the portable yoga mat and the luggage lifesaver to weigh your luggage and not get extra baggage fees. And we had herb scissors and slimming cream and stuff, and all of this stuff was selling really well. And then all of a sudden everybody's sales kind of dropped, and we found out it was because somebody had come up with a pricing software and they were just undercutting our pricing by like 2 cents or 3 cents or whatever nominal thing it was. And suddenly they were eating up a lot of our sales and they were harming our ranking. So I saw the software company and I called them. It was a small startup company at the time. Now it's actually a big company. I'm not going to tell you the name, but you know the company. I called up the company directly and I spoke to one of the guys making the software, and he said, if you pay me blah, 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 I will make you software that will undercut my software that's undercutting you, essentially. So we did that. We made that deal and we paid for the software, and the sales were awesome. And the business was thriving for another couple of years after this. So I just want to make a point that whoever is controlling these pricing things has a huge advantage. And in this case, in today's world, it's 2024, it's January, what's today? January 3rd, 2024. I think that you don't want to use Airbnb's software. I mean, obviously it gives you a range and you have some control over it, but you want to do that yourself or use something. I use Pricelabs. I really like Pricelabs. You want to use something like Pricelabs. It doesn't have to be Pricelabs. I'm not plugging them specifically, but you want to use something that's an independent third party. That way they have your best interest in mind, not Airbnbs or VRBOs or whoever else you're using. So that's just a quick point. It's just a slight conflict of interest, and why have that working against you? You need every little thing working for you. So that's my point. I just wanted to tell that story because I think it's really interesting. Like we basically were on both sides of the beast, and I feel like I got to see, behind the mirror, so to speak. So I just want to expose that way you understand that, because I know most of you understand it already, but that'll just give you confidence that you're doing the right thing. But I think some people really don't understand it. So if you have questions about it or want more, detail, just let me know. But I think that gives you kind of the basics of why you want an independent pricer. And you can do it yourself. I mean, just change it a lot. Changing your listing and making little updates to it, it actually boosts it. So there's nothing wrong with doing it yourself. I think that's another really good way to do it.